Yo, what's up, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the 5 spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most, misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you're rocking and hanging with the 46th episode of the Sports Edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. And we got a jam-packing sports show for you today with some sports topics coming up. Live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube and of course, aside myself is the Instagram live feed. So make sure you turn your notifications on Instagram where it says Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. As you can see in the username, it's TLKS, which stands for Talks. So, you know what I'm saying? So, in the meantime, let's let me remind you on if you miss any previous episodes, if you're new to the channel in the YouTube universe and new listeners, welcome to the show. And you missed any previous, newest, and latest episodes, don't worry. Everything is all uploaded and posted to the YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast is where you're going to be grabbing that subscribe button alongside with tapping the noti bell so you can be reminded of when the show goes on the air via live stream, along with the time and reminder of when it's going to start. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes, with the sports topics, and more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. And of course, be sure to tell a friend to another friend, listen, stream, watch these episodes, download these episodes. Very important. Share the episodes and share the videos as well. Now, now without further ado, let me just give a quick reminder. You can make a charitable donation to support this show and the other podcast shows that I do, which is $ G Money Stacks 555. That's $ capital G, lowercase MONEY, capital S, lowercase TACKZ 555. And it's not about being from a rich family with a lot of money. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount you decide to donate that you're comfortable with, that you desire, will be appreciated. And also leave a 5-star rating on Podchaser, Podfriend, Apple Podcasts, and alongside with the Spotify. Yes, 5-star rating on 4 platforms that I just mentioned will be appreciated as well. And yes, of course, you're gonna hear a little bit of some tree cuttings that's going on in the yard right now. So just bear with me. As long as you can hear my voice, that's what really matters here. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and just get to the quick side bleacher bar, man. Let's go. Starting with Willie McGinnis. Hold on a second. Willie McGinnis, oh my gosh. Let's get into it right now, man, with Willie McGinnis. This is crazy. Okay. Willie McGinnis. Hold on a second. Let me just find it. Yes, Willie McGinnis did something very, very, very stupid. And this is according to TMZ Sports. Let's take a look here. So Willie McGinnis beat the hell out of a man at an LA hotspot, an attack that got him arrested Monday, and shocking video obtained by TMZ Sports shows him punching the guy in the face and later bashing him in the head with a bottle. The wild altercation went down on December 9th at Delilah in West Hollywood when the ex NFL star and several of his apparent acquaintances could be seen in the footage unloading on a man who was sitting at a table at the popular lounge. In the clip, you can see McGinnis walking up to the guy and appearing to exchange words with him before landing a left hook straight to his face. At least three other men could be seen in the video immediately jumping into the action, landing a flurry of strikes on the man over and over again. Yeah. The punches rarely stop for around 30 seconds, despite bystanders' attempts to try to separate the men from each other. At one point during the melee, McGinnis appeared to pick up a bottle and then slam it into the man's head repeatedly. The 51-year-old former linebacker can be seen in the footage tossing it onto a nearby sofa before finally walking away from the scene. The man looked to be bloodied and bruised once the brawl stopped. He has yet to be publicly publicly ID'd. McGinnis was arrested on Monday morning over the incident. Authorities said he was booked at 7:30 a.m. on a charge of assault with a deadly weapon. Hold on one second. Let me take a sip of water. Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, so hold on a second. Where was I? Yes, here we are. Jail records show the New England Patriots legend's bail was set at $30,000. According to police, McGinnis posted bond and was released from custody at 9:46 a.m. McGinnis is considered one of the greatest players in Patriots franchise history. He played for the organization from 1994 to 2005. Wow. And yeah, winning 3 Super Bowls. Yes. He was inducted into the team's Hall of Fame in 2015. McGinnis has been McGinnis has been working as a football analyst for the network, excuse me, the NFL network in retirement. A spokesperson for the TV organization announced Monday that they are investigating the incident. While McGinnis will not appear on NFL Network while we review the matter, the spokesperson added. Well, that can't be good. Let me get a quick look at the live stream right here and who came in. I don't know who you are, but thanks for watching anyway. Um okay. Marshaun Lynch. Another person that did something very stupid. So fucking stupid. Anyway, this is according to 8 News Now website. Former NFL, hold on a second. Yes, former NFL running back Marshaun Lynch's Las Vegas DUI case, which was scheduled to be heard in court Wednesday, is delayed until next year. The case was postponed until February 1st, according to the Las Vegas Municipal Court. Prosecutors asked for the extension during a short hearing Wednesday. Lynch, age 36, faces several charges connected to the August incident where Las Vegas Metro Police found him asleep in his car. Officers arrested Lynch after a traffic stop at Fairfield and West Utah Avenues around 7:30 a.m. Tuesday, August 9th. Officers said they found him asleep behind the wheel with the vehicle in an undrivable condition. The car, a 2020 Shelby GT 500 coupe, was unregistered, police said. Police said Lynch was asleep with the driver's side door open while leaning back in the in, in the seat. Lynch began speaking to the officers and then fell back asleep several times. The report said officers smelled alcohol on his breath and in his car and noticed that he had bloodshot eyes and was only wearing one shoe. How stupid can you be, man? You ruin your damn career and your life. Lynch told police he was not drinking and does not do drugs, but said he stole the car. The report said he was taken to jail where he had to be restrained in a chair for corrections officers to draw a blood sample. Lynch was involved in a previous crash on February 22nd that led to a parking ticket. The 8 News Now investigators first reported this summer. He was driving on Tropicana Avenue. Not the orange juice, folks. Not the orange juice, man. Um Oh man. Yeah, Tropicana Avenue near Santoro Drive around 4 a.m. when his Lamborghini Aventador collided with landscaping and a fence, police wrote in the report. Wow, Lamborghini Aventador. Never seen it, but I'm pretty sure you folks out there probably seen it. Let me take a look here. Um, who else is here? This is Sumi Yayo. Shout out to you for being in the live stream. Thank you for watching. Um, all right, so Metro Police body camera video showed Lynch's car sitting in the landscape area as police tried to determine who was driving it. Officers suspected Lynch was driving at a high rate of speed. When his car veered off the road, hit a curve, and traveled about 50 feet before stopping on top of the boulder. A person at the scene who told police he was Lynch's cousin initially said Lynch was not driving. The report said, and the videos reveal, police had issued a citation to that person, but those violations were voided due to the fact it was proven that person was not the driver at the time of the collision. Police wrote in the report, and yes, you can hear the chainsaw. Yes. Police said witnesses saw Lynch walking away from the crash and then returned and began attempting to remove the vehicle from the landscape area, the report said. A van later arrived to aid in that attempt, the police report said. Lynch later left in the van, leaving the man police are talking to in the videos with the car. 3 days after the crash, police met with Lynch, who owned up to driving. They wrote in the report. Lynch told officers he was new to the neighborhood and that he left the crash site to avoid being placed on video. The report said. Police cited Lynch for the crash and did not arrest him. Court records show Lynch pleaded no low condenaire except accepting violation but denying guilt to a charge of stopping, standing, or parking prohibited in specified places, which is a misdemeanor. A judge ordered him to pay a $750 fine. For the August incident, Lynch is facing charges of DUI, liquor, and or drugs, failure or refusal to surrender proof of insurance, driving an unregistered vehicle, and failure to drive in a travel lane. Nevada law states a person sitting in the driver's seat of a vehicle is deemed in physical control of the vehicle. Lynch's lawyers have argued the case does not constitute a DUI. Well, Lynch most recently played for the Seattle Seahawks and played for the then Oakland Raiders for the 2017-2018 season. Um yeah. Yeah, sorry about that you're hearing a chainsaw right now, man, but all right, just give me a moment here. Okay, we back. Okay, we black. We back. Um wait a minute, man. Okay, hold on a second here. I don't know what's going on here. What the hell's going on here? No, 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 no. Okay, one moment. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so recently Donovan Mitchell basically got traded from the Jazz to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let's get into it. So okay, Will Hardy was at Donovan Mitchell's Connecticut home on July 1st. The newly appointed Utah Jazz head coach was just beginning to make the rounds, reaching out to Jazz players to discuss the upcoming season. I look at it as a win-win. Everybody is flourishing, doing well, happy. Sometimes that's just what you need, Donovan Mitchell. The two who were already acquainted because of their time spent with with Team USA were in Mitchell's backyard talking about how to make everything work. When their phones started buzzing, the Jazz were finalizing a deal to trade Rudy Gobert to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Suddenly, everything that Hardy and Mitchell were talking about seemed irrelevant. It was wild, Mitchell said on Monday morning ahead of the Jazz's first game of the season against the Cavaliers. It was wild how it happened. The Goldberg trade made it crystal clear that the Jazz were going in a new direction, but it would be two very long months before Mitchell would learn his own fate, that he was being traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Despite knowing that there was a good chance Mitchell wasn't going to be on the Jazz's roster for the 2022-23 season, that didn't stop Hardy from staying in contact with the All-Star guard. End quote. Odds are I'm probably not going to be at camp, Mitchell said, but because of the person that he texts me every so often. What are you doing to get in shape? What are you in your best shape? That's why I'm not surprised at how well these guys are playing, how hard they are playing. He did that with me, and it was a pretty good bet that I wasn't going to even be on that team. It's been a bit of a strange season for Mitchell that he is not in Utah anymore, that he has a new team, that the way he plays and approaches things had to change, that he had to adapt to a new system, that everything around him is different. It didn't all sink in at once. In fact, it all sinks in a little bit more each day. There are little reminders of how much things have changed every time he sees old teammates. Joe Ingles in Milwaukee, Borjan Bardanovic in Detroit, Goldberg in Minnesota, Royce O'Neal in Brooklyn. When he sees members of the Jazz's coaching staff or different personnel with new teams, when the Cavaliers faced the Mavericks, and he thought back to how the Jazz failed once again in the postseason and how everything came apart after that series. Mitchell says seeing the Jazz watching film on them in preparation for Monday night's game makes it all sink in a little more, but he thinks going to Utah when the Jazz will host the Cavaliers on January 10th and eventually seeing Quinn Snyder in person. Um, the two talk here and there will be the times that it all hits home. In the meantime, Mitchell has tried to use everything that he learned in Utah and make the most of his new situation, which has worked out pretty well. Mitchell is having a career year with the Cavaliers, averaging best from both a production and an efficiency standpoint. Although it was disappointing how everything ended for Mitchell in Utah, continuously falling short in the postseason. The tension in the locker room, the way that it was eventually felt like the team had just ran out of answers. It seems that all parties involved have come out on the other side in a better place. Well, that's that's interesting. Let's see. Shout outs to Empress Vibe, Empress Vibes, the podcast. Shouts to you for viewing this, actually, man. I appreciate you. Um, all right, so no matter who you ask, from Danny Inge to the player to every fan watching the Jazz last season, it was obvious that there was a lot of joy missing and that the team, as constructed, had run its course. Now it's obvious, even to Mitchell on the outside looking in, that things in Utah are better. Hmm. So, yes, so he says, I look at it as a win win. Mitchell said, everybody is flourishing, doing well, happy. Sometimes that's just what you need. Sorry for the chainsaw outside for you folks. So as long as you can hear me, that's what really matters here. So for both sides, I mean, you look at the Jazz. I don't know what the vibe in that locker room is, but from the guys that I've talked to, it seems like just a fresh breath. Mitchell wasn't sure on that day in July if he was going to remain in Utah. He was legitimately trying to think of ways to make it all work. That's why Hardy was at his house planning for the upcoming season with the three-time All-Star. Maybe change was necessary. Maybe Laurie Markkanen needed needed a new team to be able to have a breakout season. Maybe Colin Sexton needed a change of scenery to carve out his role in the NBA. Maybe Snyder needed some time away from the game. Maybe this was the perfect time for Hardy and Mitchell and Gobert and everyone else to grow in a new way. Maybe it was what everyone needed to be able to move on in a positive way. So far, so good. Not bad. Not bad though, man. Let's see. Let's see what else we got on the agenda today. Um, yes. So let's get into let's get into Mets territory. Yeah, let's get into Mets territory right here. So Chris Bassett, yes, Chris Bassett, right? According to MLB, um, when Ross Stripling was with the Blue Jays, he often joked that he threw the kitchen sink. Chris Bassett, who takes his place in the rotation for 2023 and beyond, chucks the sink and starts emptying cupboards. There are pots and pans and coffee mugs bouncing off the walls as Bassett unloads one of Major League Baseball's deepest arsenals of pitches, which has been at the heart of his success over the past 5 seasons. The Blue Jays weren't just looking at Bassett's immediate talent when they handed him a 3-year, $63 million deal that will take him through his age 36 season. They were looking at sustainability, both in terms of how consistent he's been in recent years and how he can carry that towards his late 30s. Bassett simply keeps headed. Yeah, hold on. Bassett simply keeps hitters guessing, and when they do make contact, he's got a knack for keeping it soft. The arsenal is unique in that it is so dynamic, said General Manager Ross Atkins. I think our catchers are going to have a good time getting up to speed with game calling and being prepared for the depth of his arsenal. There aren't too many pitchers in the game who can say concretely that they have 7 weapons, if not more. Turn to StatCast, excuse me, and you'll see 6 official pitches listed for Bassett: a sinker, cutter, slider, curveball, four seam, fastball, and changeup. What makes this group unique, truly unique, though, is that he's used 5 of those pitches at least 10% of the time, meaning that meaning the opposing hitter has to respect all of them in each at bat. This is what makes Bassett one of baseball's best at limiting hard contact, ranking in the 95th percentile when it came to average exit velocity last season. The sinker is still the star of the show, though a pitch that Bassett has thrown roughly 35% of the time the past 2 seasons. That pitch produces a tremendous amount of ground ball contact, which is where Toronto's defense comes in. Yes, having the elite glove of Kevin Kiermaier in center will help. But this is more about Matt Chapman at third base. Bassett and Chapman know each other well from their Oakland days, and Chapman was part of this recruiting process. So Bassett feels completely comfortable throwing his sinker for strikes in Toronto. And he said, in quote, "It's a great combination to have me throwing a lot of sinker balls with a platinum glove at third base," Bassett said. How great he is defensively. I expect him to win a gold glove every year. How competitive he is and how much he wants to be on the field and help everybody. It would be hard to turn down the opportunity to play with him again. Bassett made a point of saying he's a smart pitcher who knows how to pitch to a ballpark. And in the American League East, that means ground ball contact. Bo Bichette's defense at shortstop is moving in a better direction now, while Whit Merrifield and Santiago Espino can handle second with Chapman at third and Gold Glove Award winner Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at first. It's not baseball's best, but it's a good group and one that Bassett fits particularly well. The veteran right-hander loves the rotation he's joining too. That's one of the biggest reasons I came, Bassett said. I want to be a part of a group for an extended period of time where we can really get to know each other, help each other to be the best we can, then hopefully do something very special in the end. Learning each other, what makes each other tick, and truly pushing each other to be the best version of ourselves off and on the field is a big thing for me. Atkins views this as a clear top 10 rotation in baseball now, adding that the Blue Jays consider themselves in the top 5. That's always an injury or breakout way away from tilting in either direction, and the number 5 spot is still a major question mark. But the Blue Jays have to love where they are at entering the holidays. Bassett isn't flashy, but there's a sense of calm that comes with adding his reliable production to a rotation. It might look different each time he's out there with one of his 6 pitches taking a turn as the star of the show, depending on the day. But that's exactly why Bassett feels like Toronto's safest bet of the young off season. Well, um, let's see. Let's see what else we got on the agenda. What else we got on the agenda? Um, oh wait, hold on. We got another um another person we need to talk about here, and this is related to basketball. Forgot to mention that. Okay, so this is from KSLS. No, excuse me, KSLSports.com. Okay, so Jazz guard Talen Horton Tucker scored on a layup while nearly doing the splits during Utah's game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers hosted the Jazz at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on Monday, December 19th. With 10:50 to go in the first half, Horton Tucker dribbled into the paint and attacked the basket as he made his way toward the hoop. The Jazzmen slipped a little but maintained possession. Despite nearly falling into the splits, Horton Tucker had an open look at the bucket and shot the ball. The guard shot banked off the glass and through the cylinder for 2 points. Horton Tucker's shot cut Cleveland's lead to 31-25. During his 8 minutes against the Cavs, Horton Tucker had 2 points on 1 to 3 field goals. He added 1 steal. This season, the Iowa State product is averaging 7.2 points, 2.7 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 0.4 blocks, 0.8 steals, and steals in 16.5 minutes per game. The Cavaliers entered the game with a 20-11 record. Utah arrived in Ohio with a 17-15 record. Utah's game against Cleveland is broadcast on AT&T Sportsnet, NBA League Pass, and KSL Sports Zone. Let's see. So the Jazz lacked energy throughout the night, and nowhere was it more apparent than on the glass. Milwaukee won the rebounding battle 54-29 as no Jazz player secured more than Jared Vanderbilt's 6. Bobby Portis grabbed 14 rebounds to lead Milwaukee, who also out-rebounded the Jazz 15-7 on the offensive glass. End quote. We have a very small margin for error in that area, Will Hardy said after the game. So you can have 3 players go to the glass, and when 2 guys on a given possession are not locked in and don't go, we get hurt because the other team does have more size than we do. The Jazz are the league's 13th best rebounding team overall, but that's deceptive as they are the 5th leading offensive rebounding team and the worst defensive rebounding team. Wow. Can you say game over? On the flip side, the Bucks are the league's best defensive rebounding team, which showed in the lopsided loss. Utah's game against Cleveland marks the Jazz's first meeting with Mitchell since the superstar guard was traded in September. Before the game, the Cavaliers honored a few of their former players who now play for the Jazz with videos posted to social media before a game between the 2 NBA franchises. Holy shit. Oh shit. Welcome back, Bull. The Cavs tweeted alongside a short video of Colin Sexton highlights. Sexton was drafted by Cleveland and played for the Cavaliers from 2018 to 22. The Cavaliers also honored Lauri Markkanen. The Finnish forward played in Cleveland last season after he was traded from the Chicago Bulls. Cleveland also gave a shout out to Jazz rookie Ochai Agbaji. The Kansas product was selected by the Cavs with the number 14 overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. The 3 former Cavaliers were traded to the Jazz in September as part of a trade centered on 3-time NBA All-Star Donovan Mitchell. Yes, we did touch base on that one right here. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, what else we got going on here? Hold on. Let's see. Marshaun Lynch, blah blah blah. Yes, Mets did sign a Japanese player, so let's get into that right there. Okay, so Kodai Senga is ready to be a Met. Asked which batter he was most looking forward to facing now that he's in the major. The Japanese right-hander responded in English. The Phillies lineup. It's in part due to that mentality along with his repertoire and championship pedigree while pitching in Japan that the Mets were interested in bringing Senga to Queens, where he was introduced on Monday during a press conference at Citi Field. Senga, who turns 30 in January, signed a 5-year, $75 million deal to join a rotation that includes Max Scherzer and also added Justin Verlander, set to be introduced at Citi Field on Tuesday, and Jose Quintana. Senga said through an interpreter he signed with the Mets because he felt the Mets wanted me here, and it was an opportunity to pitch with great veteran pitchers. He'll be part of a new look rotation after the departure of Jacob deGrom, Taijuan Walker, and Chris Bassett. All right. Stanger has hit triple digits with his fastball and also features a fork ball. Fork ball that's been termed the ghost fork. Oh shit. Because its late dip makes it difficult to hit or see. He's had issues with his control, but but overall been among the more dominant pitchers in Japan. General manager Billy Epler, who has significant experience scouting players in Japan and helped bring Masahiro Tanaka to the Yankees, and then was the GM of the Angels when they signed Shohei Ohtani, said he been aware of Senga for nearly a decade. The team Senga pitched for in Japan, Fukuoka, doesn't post players, so this was his first chance to move to the majors after negotiating an out in his last contract in Japan. He's gotten advice from Yu Darvish, who told Sanger to learn English, according to Sanger. More important will be Sanger's performance on the mound. Sanger met with Epler as well as manager Buck Showalter, pitching coach Jeremy Hefner, and director of pitching development Eric Jaggers in November. Epler said he noticed Sanger's curiosity to learn and be better. It was apparent his goal is to win a championship here. He won a number of them in Japan. I think the pursuit of a ring, a trophy, I think that's what drives him. The championship experience, according to Epler, was a little bit of a separator. And Epler added the fact Sanger was originally drafted into Japan's developmental league was something he admired. He had to scratch and claw his way to the MPB. Epler said of Sanger, who went on to start game one of the Japan series in 4 straight seasons. He's constantly working to improve, Epler said. He fought his way to become a star. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good sign of resiliency. He'll no doubt need that in his new setting. Sanger said he considered his biggest challenge will be getting used to the culture in New York. His meeting with the Mets last month was his first trip to New York. Sanger noted it was very cold and he spent the day doing tourist stuff like walking around Times Square. His days of anonymity are likely coming to an end, and while a good deal of the spotlight will be shared between Scherzer and Verlander, Sanger will have plenty of it on him as well. Sanger chose his number with the Mets through a fan poll on Twitter since his preferred numbers 21 and 41 are unavailable, with Scherzer wearing 21 and 41 retired for Tom Seaver. The fans chose 34, worn with the Mets, most famously by Nolan Ryan. I'm very honored and excited to have the fans choose 34 for me, Sanger said. I hope to live up to their high expectations. Sanger worked out at Citi Field over the weekend and will be back in January as the team prepares for spring training. I've wanted to play here a long time, Sanger said of his wait to get to the majors. Now he gets his chance. Wow. Shouts to the Mets, man, for getting a Japanese player, man. This has to be a good look, man. Okay. In other Mets news, let's talk Edwin Diaz. Yes, so obviously we talked about Edwin Diaz. So Edwin Diaz has many reasons to smile this winter. Not only he is the proud recipient of a 5-year, $102 million contract, the richest ever for a relief pitcher. But he also signed the deal with the team he hoped would retain him and in the city where he wanted to remain. And as Diaz, the All-Star Mets closer, scanned social media before a video call with reporters on Thursday to officially announce the deal, he found one more thing to brighten his day. He said he learned that it was the 4th anniversary of a 7-player trade that sent him infielder Robinson Cano and cash from Seattle to the Mets for a package that included Jay Bruce, an outfielder who last played in 2021, and outfielder Jared Kalanick, a one-time hot prospect who has yet to find his footing with the Mariners. And I started laughing because I signed this past week, and 4 years ago I was getting traded to here, and now I'm signing the biggest deal for a reliever, Diaz said. So I feel really happy, really blessed, and I can't wait to start the season again. The 4th anniversary of the deal that brought Diaz to Citi Field is actually Saturday, December 3rd. But the general idea holds after Diaz assumed he had found a home in Seattle during a breakout season at age 24 in 2018, when he led the majors in saves 57 and games finished 65. The Mariners instead leveraged what they figured would be his best season to make an impact deal. The reverb the reverberations of that day continued to ripple out more from Diaz than from the marquee name in the deal, Cano, or best prospect, Kalanick. Diaz has racked up 64 saves over the past 2 seasons, finished 100 games, and given his managers Buck Showalter in 2022 and Luis Rojas in 2021 enormous comfort in the final innings. Edwin has everything we look for in a closer. Billy Epler, the Mets general manager, said in formally announcing the deal Thursday. When we think about building teams that can really compete, having the type of elite talent he possesses for a game's most important moment is critical, and his impact goes beyond his ability on the mound. Diaz was a strikeout machine in 2022 with a whiff rate of 50.2%. Of course, 235 batters faced, 118 strikeouts, the third highest mark in Major League history. He led all relief pitchers in strikeouts per 9 innings, 17.1. The latter was the second best rate in Major League history over a full season, behind Aroldis Chapman's 17.7 in 2014. Diaz also set a Mets record in 2022 by reaching 100 strikeouts in 52 and 1/3 innings pitched, which also trails only Chapman's 2014 season for the Major League record. Given the mutual desire to renew their partnership, Epler and Diaz said the deal came together quickly. Diaz said that the Mets phoned his agent within a couple of weeks of their elimination in the playoffs by San Diego, and that the talks went smoothly. Diaz said what matters most to him regarding the trailblazing nature of his landmark deal is thinking I can help all the guys coming behind me. He added, I keep pushing the value of relievers up, and I feel really happy about that. The closer, smiling some more, thanked the Mets owner Stephen A. Cohen, as well as Epler and Showalter for trusting me, supporting me. He added, I thank all the fans for their support also. And lastly, I thank the writers for giving me the award for good guy. I feel really happy. I can't wait to get that trophy. He was referencing his having won the annual Good Guy Award, which is presented at the New York Baseball Writers Association of America dinner in January to the player who deals best with the local news media. Between now and then, Diaz will be hard at work. He said he started throwing 3 weeks ago in preparation for the 2023 season, which the Mets, with a roster still under winter construction, will enter with high hopes and big expectations. Yes. Yes. So, all right. So, and speaking of Mets news, actually, so let's get to, hold on a second. Let me make sure I covered all the bases. Okay, even top MLB agents will sign. So we start there. Okay, so best MLB free agents. Okay, so let's get to that. And this is from the MLB website. So let's get to it. And let me see what date it was posted. There's no date, so let's see. So sure, several superstar free agents have been signed as we near Christmas. And Aaron Judge returning to the Yankees, Jacob DeGrom heading to the Rangers, and others. But that doesn't mean that there aren't several gems remaining on the open market for teams to snatch up. Here's a look at the best free agents still out there by position. So, for instance, catcher Gary Sanchez. Early on, it looked as though Sanchez could be the catcher of the future for the Yankees after he posted a 9.923 OPS with 53 home runs in his first 175 games in the majors from 2016 to 17. But then outside of a solid 2019 campaign, he struggled both at the plate and behind the plate. That led to the Yanks dealing him to the Twins prior to last season, and the move that sent Josh Donaldson and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to New York. Sanchez didn't fare any better with Minnesota, hitting 205, 282, 377 in 128 games. But he just turned 30, and he may still have something left in his bat. First base, Will Myers. You could make an argument for Brandon Belt here, but given that he's entering his age 35 campaign in 2023 and that he just had another knee operation, there are a lot of question marks there. There are health questions with Myers too after he was limited to 77 games last season, but he's nearly 3 years younger than Belt and was more productive in 2022. He posted a 713 OPS, 108 OPS plus with 7 homers and 286 plate appearances for the Padres, but he's also just 2 seasons removed from a .955 OPS and 15 homers in the slam-demic shortened 2020 season. Second base, Gene Segura. Wow. Segura finally got to put his talents on display on the postseason stage last fall, reaching the playoffs for the first time in his 11th major league season. He delivered some clutch hits for the Phillies to help them win their first pennant in 13 years, also hitting 462 in the National League Division Series against the Braves. He's been steadily solid into his early 30s with a 761 OPS over the past 3 seasons, though he's been limited by injuries. Health moving forward will be part of the risk a team will take when it signs Segura. But he's proven that when he's able to stay on the field, he's productive. Um, okay, so shortstop Jose Iglesias. You could probably just as easily go with Elvis and Elvis Andrus here. Both are about the same age and both produce between 1 and 2 baseball reference wins above replacement last season for their respective clubs. But we'll give the nod to the younger Iglesias. Of course, he turns 33 in January, who has been a bit more consistent offensively over the past few years. With the Rockies in 2022, he had a 708 OPS, 90 OPS plus, and in line with that, in line with what he had produced at the plate in 2021 for the Angels and Red Sox. He had a great 2020 campaign for the Orioles when he posted a .956 OPS, a bet in only 150 plate appearances during the slam damage shortened season. It's his slick fielding at short, however, that is his calling card. Of course, third baseman Evan Longoria, he's 37 and he's missed significant time due to injuries the past 2 seasons, but that's precisely why Longoria could end up being a steal for a team in need of help at the hot corner. He'd likely be an inexpensive option who, if he can stay on the field, may produce at an above average level at the plate while playing a serviceable third base. And 170 games over the past 2 seasons with the Giants, the 3-time All-Star and 3-time Gold Glove Award winner had a .799 OPS with 27 homers. Left field Jurickson Profar with Andrew Benintendi off the board. Profar takes the top spot among remaining left fielders left fielders after a strong all-mound season for San Diego in 2022. He produced a career best 3-point BWR last season, posting a .723 OPS 111 OPS plus with 15 homers. Entering his age 30 campaign in 2023, Profar comes with the added bonus of being a versatile defensive player, also having seen time at every position but pitcher and catcher during his 8-year MLB career. Center field, Adam Angel. Angel was on track toward potentially becoming an all-star center fielder for the White Sox, but injuries and a poor 2022 campaign derailed that endeavor. The speedy 31-year-old has always been a good defender in center, but his offense is what has lagged behind. Over his first 3 major league seasons, he posted a .601 OPS for Chicago. He showed marked improvement from 2020 to 21 when he slashed 270, .335, .488. The trouble was he only played 75 games over that span due to injury, and last season he hit just .224, 269, .310 over 260 plate appearances. Given his age, however, if he can stay healthy, he could be a high upside gamble that may pay off for a team willing to take a chance on him. Right field, Adam Duvall. Michael Conforto is an intriguing option here too, but given that he missed the entire 2022 season following a shoulder injury, there are just too many unknowns regarding whether he'll be the same Conforto who had a career .843 OPS with 118 homers through 20. And to Duvall, who, although he'll be in his age 34 season next year, is just a season removed from launching 38 homers, and leading the NL with 113 RBIs for the Marlins and Braves, helping Atlanta win the World Series after coming over in a trade deadline deal. He missed much of last season due to a wrist injury, but if he's right following wrist surgery, he could be a great source of power in any lineup. Of course, Trey Mancini. Mancini, of course, designated hitter, didn't produce as much at the plate as the Astros hoped he would when Houston acquired him in a trade deadline deal with the Orioles. But all's well that ends well. The Astros won the World Series. Still, the 30-year-old has posted a .735 OPS with 39 homers in 1,203 plate appearances since returning to the majors in 2021 following a cancer battle. He's proven he's still got pop in his bat, and he could be a cost-effective signing for a team in need of another above-average hitter in the lineup. Starting pitcher Nathan um, Eovaldi. Over the past 3 seasons, Eovaldi had a 3.79 ERA, 120 ERA plus, and a 1.21 whip for the Red Sox. While there are injury concerns, he's had shoulder and elbow issues, among other injuries, over the past 3 seasons. When healthy, he has proven to be one of the better starters in the American League over the past 5 years. He's also has playoff experience in 43 postseason innings. He owns a 3.14 ERA. Reliever Craig Kimbrell. Yes, he ended up losing his role as closer for the Dodgers down the stretch last season, but Kimbrell still managed to finish the 2022 campaign with a 3.75 ERA and 22 saves. He'll be entering his age 35 campaign in 23, but he's only a season removed from posting a 2.26 ERA for the Cubs and White Sox, and it was only that high because he struggled with the White Sox after pitching to a 0.49 ERA, 39 appearances with the Cubs, 23 saves. He could be a relatively cheap addition who, if he regains his form, may end up being a bargain. And yeah. And I think the last topic of the day is of course the Mets signing 5 prospect players. Yes. So Flushing, Queens, New York, December 16th, 2022. The New York Mets announced today that the club has re-signed right-handed pitcher Tommy Hunter to a minor league contract with an invitation to the major league spring training. Right-handed pitcher Jimmy Yacobonis of Abraham Almonte and infielder Jose Peraza also signed minor league contracts with invitations to major league spring training. Additionally, the club re-signed right-handed pitcher Sean Reed Foley to a minor league contract. Hunter, age 36, has spent parts of the last 2 seasons with the Mets and has pitched to a 1.78 ERA. Of course, 6 earned runs, 30.1 innings. Over 22 appearances, 1 start during that span. He is one of 8 pitchers in Mets history to allow 6 earned runs or fewer through their first 22 games with the franchise. Of course, the 15-year veteran is 56-46 with 22 saves and a 4.00 ERA in 494 major league games with 7 clubs. Yacobonis, age 30, has posted a 6.3 ERA in 71 games, 13 starts during his 5-year major league career with the Orioles, Mariners, Marlins, and Rays. The Elizabeth, New Jersey native, made 14 appearances, of course, one start combined with Miami and Tampa Bay last season. Almonte, age 33, began the 2022 season with the Brewers organization before he was acquired by the Red Sox on July 25th. He batted .257, 937 with 1 home run and 2 RBI in 15 games with Boston. Prior to having his contract selected by Boston, the 5'10", 233-pounder slash .293, .417, .534 with 18 home runs and 66 RBI across 80 games between Nashville AAA and Worcester AAA of the International League. A Dominican League native, Amante has hit .235, of course, 287 to 1221, with 24 home runs and 118 RBI over 455 major league games with 7 clubs. Peraza, age 28, appeared in 71 international games between Scranton, Wilkes-Barre AAA, and Worcester AAA last season. A Venezuela native, Peraza played in 64 games with the Mets in 2021 and sported a .993 OPS with runners in scoring position, while 5 of his 6 home runs that season gave the Mets the lead. Prior to joining the Mets, Peraza appeared in 554 games with the Dodgers 2015, Reds 2016 to 2019, and Red Sox 2020. Reed Foley, age 27, has spent the last 2 seasons with the Mets and owns a record of 2-1 with a 5.28 ERA in 19 career games with New York. In 2022, Reed Foley made 7 relief appearances before his season was cut short after undergoing Tommy John surgery on May 11th to repair a partially torn right UCL. Prior to joining the Mets, the 6'3", 230-pounder went 5'8", with a 4.40 ERA in 21 games, 13 starts with the Blue Jays from 2018 to 2020. So there you go, right there. All right. Let me see. Before I wrap up here, let me see who else came in. Shout outs to the Need to Know _ podcast right here, man. Thank you for joining. I think that's gonna do it for this episode right here, man. Let me see how much time we got here. Yes, we could wrap up here. All right. Yes, we could wrap up here. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I get the hold on a second. All right. Okay, man. One more segment that we got to do today, and that's going to be stream choices on the go. Let's go. Let's do this, man. And you folks in the sports world that's listening right now, you like the sports topics that's being discussed and stuff like that, all you need to do is go ahead and show some love by following Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. Of course, the sports edition show on Instagram, alongside with my review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, and of course my number one show, Off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast, which is on Facebook and Instagram alongside with myself, is your homie, your boy, G Money Stacks, 555 in Queens, New York. Turning your notifications for details on when each episode is going to be dropping, and of course be sure to for details on when each episode is going to be dropping, and of course on YouTube as well, which is going to be uploaded in a couple of minutes. And by the way, you can go to the link in bio, so you can actually see the audio streaming platforms and where you can watch the podcast episodes. So you can leave a voice message on anchor.fm/gmoneystack0/message. All right. And for the most part, speaking of Anchor, that's what we're going to start with. So, starting with Anchor, we are on Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podorama, Podopolo, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, and you can also make sure you listen to Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports edition show on Radio Public, alongside with iHeartRadio, the #1 app for music, radio, and podcasts. So you don't need a credit card or a debit card to download these apps, though. You can download it to your iPhones, your Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, and your laptop, which is your friend. And make sure you follow my other shows that's also on iHeartRadio as well, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, Review Show. I just dropped episode 102 yesterday. 103 and the other episodes will be dropped between Friday and Saturday. And I will be able to do the rest. I'll do the rest actually. So and also make sure you follow my other show, which is #1, by the way, trending, which is Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast with 219 episodes. I'm going to drop episode 220 tonight. And for the most part, the most very important thing to do is, make sure you grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. Yes, YouTube is your friend too. Go ahead, make sure you grab that subscribe button for me. Click the noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, alongside with leaving a like and a comment along with the episodes and sports topics. And be sure to stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes as well. And of course, make sure you listen, stream, and watch the episodes, download the episodes, and of course, be sure to share the videos, share the episodes, and tell a friend to another friend. Spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And alongside with sharing the podcast, along with the link that says Linktree/Excellent Fun Vibrant Talk. No, excuse me, Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast. Actually, I gotta change that actually. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that link anyway. So, alongside with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, the people you're cool with, and of course, everybody that you meet at festivities, parties, wherever you meet new people for the first time, whatever it is. And that's going to do it for me, man. I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me on episode 46, titled Dominance, which is representing the Mets. Yes, the Mets showed dominance this year and stuff, despite the fact that they got knocked off by the San Diego Padres and stuff. But the thing about the Mets is that they have confidence, man. You know what I'm saying? And they have dominance, man. And you can't forget that, man. You cannot forget that, man. Especially through the highlights, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And also, remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. New York wasn't built in a day. You want to focus on being yourself, finding your voice, being able to find and look for something that clicks and sparks to you while you are on your P's and Q's, that makes you smile creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. So that's gonna do it. G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, is clocking out. And stay tuned for episode 47 and 48. It will be the last 2 episodes of the sports podcast because we're taking off for Christmas break and New Year's. All right. So stay tuned for that one right there, man. I appreciate every single one of you for taking the time to listen to Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports edition show. You could have listened to any other podcast whatsoever, but you chose to listen to this one right here that made its 1 year anniversary, and I really appreciate every single person, including the fanatics out there in the sports world that actually tuned in. And of course, let us know in the comment section in the YouTube channel page, and of course, what do you think about the topics that's being discussed? Any more sports topics you want me to do? You can DM it to me on G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York on Instagram. So like I said, that's it. Peace and one love, and enjoy the rest of your day and good night.